Nama orang tua, Ayah Limbong Silalahi, Ibu Dina Tionlina Ambarita. Anak kedua dari 7 bersaudara. Suami Wanjul Simaremare. Anak Esther Yolanda Simaremare, Rajesh Aditya Simaremare, Rafael Adiyora Simaremare. Pendidikan. Dumaris E. Silalahi tamat SD Negeri di Tambun Raya tahun 1991, SMP Negeri 3 Pematang Siantar tahun 1994, SMK Swasta Surya Pematang Siantar tamat tahun 1997. S1 Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris Universitas HKBP Nommensen Medan tahun 2002. S2 Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris Pasca Sarjana Universitas Negeri Surabaya UNESA tamat tahun 2011 dan sekarang mengikuti program S3 Linguistik Terapan Bahasa Inggris. Pengalaman dalam menyajikan materi dalam seminar. Ada sejumlah yang saya bacakan hanya beberapa. Presenter di Nommensen International Seminar on Language Testing tahun 2017, presenter di International Conference on Applied Linguistics and Second English Language Teaching and Technology Conference tahun 2017, presenter Nommensen International Conference on Technology and Engineering tahun 2019, presenter International Conference and English Language Education Expo tahun 2019, dan narasumber pada webinar Literasi Digital Kominfo tahun 2021. Pengalaman organisasi sebagai editor Journal of English Education, Linguistics, and Literature sejak Februari 2015 sampai sekarang, sebagai reviewers di Proceeding on the First Nommensen International Seminar on Language Teaching Oktober 2017, sebagai anggota Asosiasi Linguistik Terapan Indonesia ALTI 2017 sampai 2018, sebagai reviewer di Jurnal Nasional yakni Journal on Research and Review of Educational Innovation STKIP Situbondo, sebagai reviewer di Jurnal Nasional Terakreditasi Sinta 4, yaitu Jurnal Wanastra, Jurnal Bahasa dan Sastra sejak Desember 2022 sampai sekarang. Dumaris E. Silalahi telah menulis sejumlah artikel, Jurnal Internasional 9 artikel, Jurnal Internasional Scopus, Jurnal Scopus Q3 1 artikel, Jurnal Scopus Q4 2 artikel. Jurnal Nasional Terakreditasi, Jurnal Sinta 2 artikel, Jurnal Sinta 3 1 artikel, Sinta 4 1 artikel, Sinta 5 3 artikel, Sinta 6 3 artikel, dan artikel dalam Proceeding Internasional 4. Pengalaman bekerja, Ketua Laboratorium Komputer di FKIP Universitas HKBP Nommensen Medan sejak 2015 sampai 16. Ketua Laboratorium Micro Teaching di FKIP Universitas HKBP Nommensen Medan sejak 2016 sampai 2017. Sekretaris Prodi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris di FKIP Universitas HKBP Nommensen Medan sejak 2018 sampai 2020. PLT Sekretaris Prodi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris di FKIP Universitas HKBP Nommensen Medan 2021 sampai 2022. Dosen pembimbing lapangan kampus mengajar angkatan 2 dan dosen PPG dalam jabatan angkatan pertama dan kedua tahun 2022. Pengalaman menulis buku menggali pondasi karakter bangsa dengan semangat Sumpah Pemuda tahun 2021, ilmu pendidikan tahun 2022, media pembelajaran tahun 2022, metode penelitian kualitatif tahun 2022, literasi digital berbasis pendidikan teori, praktek, dan penerapannya 2002, aplikasi pembelajaran digital tahun 2023. Dumaris E. Silalahi menjadi dosen profesional dengan memperoleh sertifikat pendidik di bidang ilmu pendidikan bahasa dan sastra Inggris oleh Universitas Negeri Malang pada tanggal 2 September 2014. Demikian biodata Promopenda. Terima kasih.
Baik, terima kasih pada promotor. Selanjutnya pelaksanaan ujian oleh Promopenda dipimpin oleh pimpinan sidang.
Pimpinan Universitas Negeri Medan yang kami hormati, seluruh Dewan Guru Besar yang kami muliakan, Bapak, Ibu, Bapak-Bapak, promotor-promotor, Bapak, Ibu, Dewan Penguji yang telah hadir, dan seluruh handai tolan, keluarga, untuk pelaksanaan promosi doktor ini, kita beri kesempatan kepada Promopenda Dumaris Silalahi untuk mengungkap berbagai temuan riset, produk riset, kebaruan riset, dan berbagai implikasi baik secara teoritis maupun praktis, serta pengembangan riset ini serta implementasinya di masa yang akan datang. Untuk itu, kita berikan waktu kurang lebih 20 menit kepada saudari Promopenda. Kami persilakan.
Baik, terima kasih Prof. Izin untuk share screen Prof.
Silakan.
Baik, good morning for all the participants in this open examination. First of all, I say thanks to the Almighty God for His blessing. This exam is run in this moment. The second, my best honorable I address to both promoters, Prof. Amrin Saragi, and then Prof. Berlin Sibarani. And my best honorable also for the leaders of the examination, Prof. Bornok Sinaga, and all the examiners, Prof. Sri Minda, Prof. Sumarsi, Bapak Dr. Rahmat Hussein, and Prof. Silvana Sinar. For this time, let me present my research in this examination. The first one, research background, it is refers to the condition of the EF learners in Indonesia, which commonly face ambiguity as it has new linguistic system marked by vagueness, incompleteness, probability. And then the learners with high level of TOA are those who use creative thinking well without under pressure by doing activities as ambiguous solution when encountering unfamiliar and difficult tasks. Current issue in English foreign language learners have trouble or difficulties caused by both cultural knowledge and linguistic input, which often have uncertain condition. And then the condition of English proficiency at English department at FKIP Universitas HKBP Nomensen are mostly low rather than other department. This information taken from document observation from TOEFL test score at in the end of the students' graduation at this faculty. And then it's come to research problem. The first one is what are the levels of TOA in EFL learners of English department at FKIP Universitas HKBP Nomensen? And the second one, does TOA or tolerance of ambiguity significantly correlate with English proficiency? And then how do the EFL learners tolerate the ambiguity in English proficiency? And the last one, why do the EFL learners tolerate the ambiguity in English proficiency? It is about literature. TOA facilitates learners to perceive or interpret learners' desirable of ambiguity information. And then a level of TOA is the degree to which the learners cognitively willing to tolerate ideas and propositions that run counter to own belief system or structure of knowledge. Way of TOA is tendency to perceive or interpret the novel and unclear information. And the reasons of TOA are those probabilities to solve ambiguity situation which affected by feelings, attitudes, interpersonal and social functioning, cognition, and problem-solving style, as well as perception. Finding of this research, the first one, the level of TOA in EFL learners at FKIF Universitas HKBP Nomensen is high. And the second one, coefficient correlation between tolerance of ambiguity and English proficiency based on the data here is poor. And ways of TOA based on the finding, the learners do discussing and Googling. And the fourth one, the reason of TOA, ambiguity makes the learners to be curious, stimulated, encourage, challenge, and realize. And both these finding as the novelty of this research by the reason that previous relevant research still didn't touch this point. So these points as the novelty of this research, they are ways of TOA and reasons of TOA. The novelty of this research. Ways of TOA in EFL are some probabilities as ambiguity problem solving, which familiar use in this research, Googling our digital device and discussing. And then the next novelty, reasons of TOA, make the learners to be curious, stimulate, encourage, challenge, and realize. Tolerance of ambiguity is a personality variable which tendency to perceive or interpret and to do probabilities as ambiguity problem solving dynamically based on learning environment, innovation, and comfort. Previous research in the definition of tolerance only tendency to perceive and interpret, but in this research, based on the finding that the learners do probabilities as problem solving. And the next novelty, the EFL learners at FKIF Universitas HKBP Nomensen, based on this data analysis, are characterized as independent language learners who tendency to use ability to understand target language facilitated by context or learner setting rather than mediating presence by the others here, lecture or friends. They tend to use digital media in searching related information to make clear understanding of English ambiguities in comfort. Ambiguity is desirable for those learners who have good capability, which make them to be challenged cognitively, emotionally, and psychomotoric. The implication of this research, TOA is one of individual variables considered essentially as mind control in learning process. Tolerance of ambiguity facilitates learners to be critical and creative thinking, to make clear ambiguity situation which marked by new, uncertain, or even complex situation. The next implication, tolerance of ambiguity facilitates language learning as the level of TOA provides the level with challenging arena. And then tolerance is a means of exercising for the EFL learners potentially before meeting with the realities in the use of language. And the next implication, learning materials should be provided contain of the ambiguity situation to build the learner's literacy character to struggle with the reality of life. Thank you, Prof. This is my presentation about my research.
Oke, top share. Baik. Terima kasih kepada saudari Provenda sudah memaparkan secara singkat isi kajian riset disertasinya. Untuk lebih sempurnanya disertasi ini dan mempromosikan berbagai temuan riset ini, kami mintakan dengan hormat. Prof. Silvana sudah masuk belum? Ya, kita beri kesempatan pertama kepada Profesor Dr. Sriminda Murni. Kami persilakan, Bu Sriminda.
Prof. Silvana sudah masuk, sudah berada di... Ya, sudah.
Selamat pagi, Prof. Silvana.
Selamat pagi, silakan Prof. Minda, tidak apa, Pak Direktur.
Baik, terima kasih kehadiran penguji eksternal kita, Prof. Silvana Sinar, Guru Besar Universitas Sumatera Utara. Kita beri kesempatan pertama memberikan kajian, pandangan dalam promosi riset disertasi Provenda Dumaris Silalai. Kami persilakan, Bu Silvana.
Terima kasih banyak atas kesempatan yang diberikan kepada saya. Selamat pagi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang saya hormati Pak Direktur, Pak Profesor Bornok, Bapak Dr. Kaparudi, Bapak Profesor Amrin, promotor, Saudara Ibu Dumaris, Bapak Profesor Dr. Berlin Sibarangi, Ibu Pak Rahmat Hussein, dan semua teman-teman sekalian, kolega yang saya hormati. Terima kasih, thank you very much for the chance given to me to ask questions and to give comments on this examination, this promotion, doctor promotion, Dumaris Silalahi. Okay, Ibu Dumaris, very good presentation. Your research findings is already there, and then the novelty of the research findings is already posed in a very good position. So the fixed significance of the problem that has been presented already given to us comprehensively. So now I just want to ask some questions, maybe two questions to complete, because this is a promotion, a doctor promotion. So it is our duty to ask you a question, maybe because it is in a viva, so you need to be responsible to what you have done, you have written. And the dissertation got improvement, of course, a lot, yeah, from the examination. And your background showed an understanding of the observation of the problem, and the logical reasons were put forward why the problem needs to be discussed and open our mind as a reader, yeah, to understand the problem. Now, I just want to ask you, as a scientific studies that can be categorized as an empirical studies and descriptive studies, and you build configuration from the object of phenomena you have discussed, and then you you gave explanatory explanation, yeah, and then you also verified the data, the hypothesis, the analysis, yeah. So I just want to know, in this promotion, as an alumni, just say that you have now, is going to be the alumni of UNIMED, especially the alumni of the English Applied Linguistic Study Program. What are you going to promote? And in a simple and solid explanation, what can you get from the novelty, yeah, from all the theoretical point of view, from the methodological point of view. So what is your explanation to promote your doctorate? Okay, that's simple, yeah?
Yeah, well, Prof, based on my research, I realized that I have to promote now that tolerance of ambiguity is one of essential individual variable for the learners to make clear understanding of all unclear information in English language, because naturally English language has linguistic cues.
Okay.
All the probabilities as the solving problem to make understanding, to have a good proficiency in English, Prof.
Yeah, okay, the tolerance ambiguity. So methodologically, of course, how do you explain to us, after finding out that tolerance ambiguity framework that you promoted to us, that you confirmed that as a novelty? How actually the methodology that you found out?
After doing analysis, tolerance of ambiguity is one of personality variable which encourage the learners to do their ability to facilitate the context of learning as the individual language learners without the mediating presence of others, such as lectures and friends.
Yeah. So the implication from your theoretical finding, ya, itu tadi yang pertama itu adalah you have the theoretical finding and then you found out a concept of tolerance ambiguity. So in short, bagaimana how is the method? Bagaimana so what is the future, method for apa itu ya, for your followers? Bagaimana followers Anda berikutnya nanti? Kan sebuah konsep, as a konsep itu perlu metodologinya, ya, konsep baru yang itu kan harus ada metode yang menemaninya, bagaimana teknik melakukannya, kemudian bagaimana filosofi yang melandasinya, kan seperti itu ya. Mungkin bisa tadi sebenarnya sudah ada, cuman perlu digunakan bahasanya. Game secara epistemologi, ya penggunaan bahasanya. Coba dulu. Ini ujian akhir loh.
Tolerance of ambiguity facilitates learners to be critical and creative thinking, to make clear ambiguity situations marked by new, uncertain, or even complex situations. So for the next researchers should do the research deeply here to investigate the realization of tolerance of ambiguity to get good achievement in English proficiency.
Yeah.
For other learners who are lack of capability, possibly motivated by other variables, the individual variables. So methodologically for the next research should be investigate the roles or the realization of tolerance ambiguity for learners.
Yes, very good. So the implication, ya, itu tadi itu apa namanya? So you have the theoretical implication, ada juga methodological implication, and then the practical implication. Yeah, so after finding out the development, of tolerance ambiguity, the concept of tolerance ambiguity, and then for future studies, you ask them to open up opportunities for further, apa tadi kamu bilang, for further investigate, ya, for investigate to open up opportunities for them to do another research. Okay, very good. Thank you very much for the apa namanya, for the comments and the response, for my question. So in relation with practical implication, the practical implication, where the finding of the research are expected to be useful and practical for lecturer, for teacher, for learners, because this TOH is one of individual variable to be considered to succeed in teaching and learning process. Is there any practical implication to government, to pemegang users, pemegang kepentingan lain dalam education, misalnya yang bisa that you can promote, you can propose to them? That is my question.
Yeah, as the essential of tolerance ambiguity, it is not only for teaching and learning process, because the capability or the tolerance to ambiguity make or facilitate everybody to do things in comfort. So for the board or the government should, the implication is the tolerance ambiguity should be concerned in every setting of teaching and learning process in order to improve the character of the learners, how to be not frustrated when facing some ambiguities, because in every life, most of ambiguities situation.
Yeah. This government and users atau government, ya kita katakan, they are not in the classroom, but you said here that practical implication to the lecturer, teacher and learners, they are in the classroom, yeah. So they can access, using your findings, using your methods, yeah, techniques in the classroom. But the government are not in the classroom, yeah. They are not in the classroom. So what actually will you suggest to them? How they can be, having role, to also, apa namanya, they can feel, they can be touched, to see the situation in Indonesia, classroom in Indonesia.
It can be seen from the roles of tolerance ambiguity from media, Prof. Like this research published in articles, so it will share to every readers the benefit of tolerance ambiguity that should be considered for every aspect of life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can also facilitate, all the instrument that needed, in doing this teaching, learning in Indonesia, especially those who, apply this research, this model, the model, ini sedikit seperti conceptual model yang diperkenalkan kepada pada dunia, pada Indonesia, ya. Begitu kira-kira, setuju?
Ya, Prof.
Mesti ada juga role penting, mungkin melalui suatu mengundang para guru, teacher, kemudian membuat suatu, memperkenalkan ini kepada yang lain, pada guru semua, khususnya di Sumatera Utara, ya. Mungkin banyak yang dilakukan oleh pemerintah yang untuk ikut involved, melibatkan diri ke dalam hal-hal penting seperti ini. Okay, thank you very much. I think short answer, 2 sudah cukup dalam ujian seperti ini. Ya, saya doakan semoga sukses.
Baik, terima kasih Prof. Silvana Sinar. Terima kasih Prof. telah mengkaji sekaitan dengan kebaruan riset disertasi ini. Dari sisi temuan-temuan riset ini, bagaimana mengimplikasikannya, implementasinya terhadap para pengguna, dan itu ada sesuatu yang harus lebih tegas, ya, dari Dumaris, ya, untuk ditinjau ulang. Masukan-masukan dari Prof. Silvana Sinar mohon dicermati ulang, Duma. Baik, kita lanjut kepada Ibu Dr. Sriminda Murni. Silakan, Prof. Prof. Sriminda. Sepertinya Prof. Sriminda tadi sudah masuk.
Masih berada di ruang.
Baik, kita lanjut ke Prof. Sumarsi. Silakan, Prof. Sumarsi. Nah, ini Prof. Sriminda sudah ini.
Iya,
Silakan,
iya.
Prof.
Mohon
Sriminda.
maaf Pak tadi. Mohon maaf Prof.
Sedang
Ya,
di perjalanan nampaknya.
silakan
Iya,
Prof.
ini,
Sriminda.
Iya. Terima kasih Prof. Bornok atas kesempatannya. I have 3 questions, Ibu Dumaris.
Ya, Prof.
Right. So when you are talking about this tolerance of ambiguity, Ibu, you mentioned also that this is part of this is related to students' personality, right?
Ya, Prof.
Yeah. So how then education program or schools help students to say increase or develop students' tolerance of ambiguity in order to help them to be able to be competent in English?
Well, Prof, yeah, the government should provide concern into the teaching materials which contains of the frequency ambiguity in order to encourage the learner to be critical thinking, to make them to understand English well.
Yeah, okay. So there should be list of, say, vocabulary, phrases that is identified by school or government, and then make sure that they are put in the, say, reading materials or listening materials. So students have enough training in promoting their tolerance of ambiguity. Is that what you are saying, Ibu?
Yes, Prof. All the
Yeah,
teaching.
do you have plan, or do you have you identified those vocabulary or phrases that you find as potential to be put in the list for your students in your university already? Do you have that?
The ambiguity identified based on this research, all the ambiguity, all the English aspect, and also contained in the skills which is categorized as difficult for the students, whether in lexical or also phrase.
Yeah, so what I am trying to encourage you to do is that you already teach in your department for several years, right? And then you have already knowledge on your students' competence in their English prior to their attending your program. So if your dissertation to be made useful by your university, I think the first thing that you have to do is that you have to prepare list that you find whether they are phrases or lexicals that you find as a potential to be promoting students' tolerance of ambiguity, Ibu.
Okay.
So have you got the ideas on the list already, or the lexical, the phrases that you would like to put in the listening materials or reading materials of your students to promote their tolerance of ambiguity? Yes or no?
As so far, I haven't listed the characterizing of the ambiguity in listening and other kinds of skill, Prof. But later on, I will try to identify, to make the teaching material to be contain of ambiguity frequency in order to improve their students' critical thinking.
Right. So if you do it, Bu Dumaris, then one aspect of teaching learning English will be what do you call that? You have unique program in your university since you are researching those aspects. If you just leave your dissertation on the result in the library and only in your in sake of your PhD promotion, I think it will be useless. But if you produce those lists, then promote this to your department, and they will use it as part of the materials that the students use. Of course, you have to test your students' tolerance of ambiguity prior to the teaching learning process, and after that, giving them these materials, and after that, you teach you again test their level of tolerance of ambiguity to see whether the materials are relevant in promoting their tolerance of ambiguity. That will be beneficial, Bu, not only for your university, but also for the English teaching everywhere. So please do it, Bu, just as a follow-up of your dissertation.
Baik, Prof.
Right, okay. And then number 2, I am also interested in finding how this your dissertation will be beneficial in the concept of Merdeka Belajar right now, in which we recognize students' learning style, right? Learning style, and also their interest in studying different topics. So everybody is recognized as potential to be competent, right, Ibu? So we are not comparing students because since the day of their birth, they are already created differently. So this tolerance of ambiguity, as you mentioned, also different level, and also it has relation to students' personality. So how will you use your dissertation to add some values in the way people, the English teaching, teach their learners in the concept of Merdeka Belajar, Ibu? How do you think it will be beneficial?
Yeah, I introduce the finding of this research to others with the roles of tolerance ambiguity as the essential for the learners to encourage them to face kinds of ambiguity, like in Merdeka Belajar, every learners meet with others and learn the new things, so they have to be able to control their mind to tolerate the ambiguity as the marked by the novel. And the role of the ambiguity is one of the personality variable to able to the students to be creative and critical thinking in comfort.
Yeah, I'm thinking of using this in teachers training, for example, Bu. Our teachers are now trained through to develop their knowledge, in the different learning style of the students, audio, visual, and kinesthetic, and the combination of 2 or 3 of these learning style, right, Bu? We train our teachers now to be able to identify their students' learning style in order to help them to promote their competency in the very maximum level. So this tolerance of ambiguity, I think, is also good to be put in the material in the teacher training, Ibu. Especially, in the bahasa for guru-guru bahasa Indonesia or bahasa Inggris, especially. So do you have ideas on how to design these materials to be part of teachers training, so they will recognize this level of their students' tolerance of ambiguity later, and they know how to promote each of the students' tolerance of ambiguity level to the highest level. Do you already have some ideas on how to design those materials for teachers training, Ibu?
Yeah, the planning to have a workshop for the teachers or kinds of seminar to introduce tolerance of ambiguity, then to make sure that every teacher have to know the rules of tolerance ambiguity, which can be organized in teaching material well. Can be like in a reading text, and then try
and then listening, I think.
Listening, Prof.
Yeah, but think about that. We can develop that if you have enough materials or resources for those materials. It is also good to promote in the teaching of English as part of the material we introduce in English teaching training.
Baik, Prof.
Yeah, okay. The last but not least, Ibu, I am still questioning of the instrument that you use, which I found to be not testing your students' teaching tolerance of ambiguity, because as I found out last time when you said for your ujian tertutup, Ibu, only one question is related to this ambiguity and how they deal with that. So maybe, Ibu, after we met in that ujian tertutup, Ibu, do you have some ideas on how to develop specific instrument for testing your students' tolerance of ambiguity, Ibu? Because the instrument that you use is debatable, being questioned, at least by me, yeah, Ibu, yeah? Yeah, I hope you still remember that. Do you have now some ideas on how to develop those instruments, Ibu, so it can be used by any English teachers at school or English lecturers at any different university, various universities, so they have standardized instrument for English teaching in getting knowledge on the level of their students' tolerance of ambiguity?
Yeah, Prof. After Prof suggest me in ujian tertutup, I realized that the instrument to measure the tolerance ambiguity should be contains the way or the way of how to tolerate the ambiguity, like guessing, so we can understand. This one ask the student to tolerate the ambiguity. Later on, I will prepare the instrument relate to the content of the ways of ambiguity, Prof, as you suggest me.
Right. I think you should start from observing students while they are reading or while they are listening to listening materials, what happened in their mind, what kinds of experiences related to ambiguity that they have gone through, and from those starting point, maybe you can develop your own instrument of tolerance of ambiguity, Bu. I hope you can do it, Bu. It will be something very helpful for English teaching.
Okay, I'll try, Prof. I promise.
Okay, congratulations, Ibu. Thank you, Prof. Bornok. Thank you, Prof. Amrin.
Baik, terima kasih Prof. Sriminda. Kita lanjut ke Prof. Dr. Sumarsi. Silakan Prof. Sumarsi.
Yeah, thank you to Professor Dr. Bornok Sumaga, MPD, Ibu Bumaris, Silalahi. Yeah, we start from the finding. Yeah, I want to repeat again. Yeah, your finding. The first one is about the level of TOA is high level. The second one about the correlation. You got a poor correlation. The finding number 3, the way of EFL learners, Googling and discussing. And the reason, there are some, yeah.
Yes, 5.
Curiosity, yeah, 5. And then getting in understanding, yeah. And then the third one, learn new things. Fourth one, think more, yeah, about the alternative ways to get the understanding. And the fifth, better achievement. From all of the finding, can you elaborate the characteristic of what kind of English learner, especially for the English learner at the HKBP Nommensen University? What are the characteristics of English learners at the HKBP Nommensen University?
Well, Prof, based on those findings, I characterized the EFL learners at FKIP Universitas HKBP Nommensen as independent language learners who tendency to use the ability to understand target language facilitated by the context or learning setting in this research by using digitalization rather than mediating presence by others. They are lectures or friends. The learners at FKIP Universitas HKBP Nommensen, based on this research, tend to use digital media in searching related information to make clear understanding of English ambiguity comfort.
Yeah, okay. I think you talk about novelty, yeah? Is it right? About the characteristic of an English learner is independent language learner who tendency use digital session rather than presentation.
Yes,
this is your novelty, I think. Is it right, Bu? Yeah.
Yes.
Based on this novelty, I think when you write down or quoted some of the relevant researcher, I mean that relevant studies, is there any the same finding or maybe different finding from your research, Ibu?
Well, Prof, based on my document observation from previous relevant research, there are two findings of this research, same with others. It is level of TOA and then correlation between tolerance of ambiguity and English proficiency. In the previous research, most of the research found the level of TOA is high and the coefficient correlation is in various. Some of them are poor, moderate, and also high. But in this research, there are two novelty as the finding of ways and also reasons of TOA in English proficiency, Prof.
Okay, so it is the difference between your, I mean that from your quoted some relevant studies. Is it right?
Yeah,
okay. The last question, yeah. Because you have done your research as complete as possible, yeah. I think whatever we have done must be there is a weaknesses and strengthen. Yeah. Can you tell me, is there any weaknesses and strengthen in your research? Based on these weaknesses, you can suggest to the government or to the school or to the teachers, and based on the strengthen, you can give to the implication.
Okay, Prof. Thank you. The weaknesses of this research, I realized that the ways of TOA in English proficiency based on the theory, it is perceiving or interpretation. Meanwhile, in this research, it is not covered. So I suggest to the next or to the further researchers to do deep investigation related to the way of tolerance of ambiguity. It is perceiving or interpretation. Because in this research, it is not covered. Based on this research, I think it is influenced by the context of learning, because at the time of data collection of my research at the digital literacy or in COVID-19 session, so the learning is done online, and also the time of collecting data is also done online here. Maybe it influence into the students' learning style, Prof. So they do not interpret or perceive mostly, but they want to use what they have, like the situation of learning use digital, and then they think that all things can get by using digitalization. And the strength of this research based on the theory that the way of TOA is perceiving or interpretation. Meanwhile, based on this research, that not only interpretation, but all probabilities as the problem solving of ambiguity to make clear understanding.
Okay. Okay, I think you have answered complete, yeah. I think I finished my question, only 2 questions. Thank you, Ibu Dumaris. Thank you to Professor Dr. Werno Sinaga, MPD, and Professor Amrin Sarage, MA, PhD. Thank you.
Baik, terima kasih Prof. Sumarsi. Kita lanjut ke Bapak Dr. Rahmat Hussein.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Borno. Bu Duma, can you listen to me?
Okay, Prof.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I do appreciate your final journey, yeah, of doing your doctor research. Okay, Ibu Duma, if I would like to say, I don't know whether it is correct or not, that you are now the expert of TOA related to English proficiency, yeah? All right. Since you are actually now the expert of how to tolerate of ambiguity for EFL, maybe ESL learners, particularly English proficiency. And then what is the first step that you are going to do to decrease, yeah, EFL or ESL learners ambiguity?
Okay, Prof. Yeah, I would like to improve the way of tolerance of the learners in teaching. It is from providing teaching materials which encourage the students to think more, or to make them to be a critical thinking. So from teaching materials, Prof. Rahman.
Okay, you would like to provide English teaching materials with high critical thinking of the students. Meanwhile, actually, the students have problem related to unfamiliar. It can be only word, it could be also phrase, it could be clause, or it could be context. And then how could you actually create the kind of critical, high critical thinking materials to facilitate students so that they don't feel ambiguous too much?
Yeah, by giving teaching material contained with ambiguities frequently for the students, which encourage them to think why the teaching material like this, how to solve or how to achieve or how to understand this. It is through drilling when we provide frequently to the students kinds of the new materials which make them to be stimulated to think more and to find the ways to understand the material. It is the process of tolerance of ambiguity.
All right, good. Well, almost similar to Prof. Minda, I also a bit curious to know related to your questionnaire. Yeah, if I would like to make sure, could you please tell me what is actually the proficiency covered in your instruments of TOA, Ibu?
Yeah, based on the instrument